Hello, hello, and welcome. We are 9 little Aussies living in the USA, building a home where we all belong. Where gardens are cultivated, real food is celebrated, agrarian living is reclaimed, where we choose to walk with wonder and faith, eyes wide open to the beauty of life. Where stories and rhyme are a tether that anchor our hearts to the ancient landmarks our fathers have left for our learning, and where all weary souls may find comfort and rest. It is a grand undertaking, perhaps, but a profoundly simple one. I invite you to join us as we reach for the stars with our feet firmly rooted in love and God's good earth.
Hello YouTube land. Well, we're just out here getting ready for our big freeze. So Chrissy and I are covering things. Hello sweetheart. And just trying to beat the frost that is supposed to be here tonight. When's the last frost date, sweetheart? April 15th? End of March. Our last frost date is end of March, so
I think it's like March 25th.
we've had this freeze predicted, so we are out here and it is cold. The winds are blowing, the change is coming.
So the potatoes are looking great, and they will handle a freeze, but I don't know if they'll handle a hard freeze. So we don't know if we'll get a hard freeze, but we possibly could. We don't really have frost covers, but this is an old trampoline net and a blanket and some tarps, and we'll just see what we can do.
I need you.
Okay. This is our new blueberry, and it is budding. I don't know if you can see that. Got buds all over it. So we're gonna.
The tricky part is protecting it without hurting it.
An old packing blanket we found. We could secure it to
I think it needs to come back around on itself.
on itself.
And then
I'm
we'll
just
have to
worried
stake it
about
down.
squashing it.
Good. Let's stake
Oh, I'm standing on the elderberry.
it down. Possible.
We can wrap it with binder
We've got
twine.
twine, yeah.
Tell you, Dad was right about binder twine.
Yeah, let's get this through.
Can just about fix anything with binder twine, right?
Don't know how tight to do it though.
Not too, yeah.
I'm worried about it.
I wouldn't do it too tight, I guess.
I'm just gonna do a normal shoelace knot.
Yeah.
Should we cover those bananas or just leave them for the...
I think they'll come back even if this frost kills them. They'll come back again. This peach tree is also blossoming. So I'm gonna... Oh, we could do that. If we've got, we can try.
I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I just, at least that pole there might protect it somewhat. So we've covered one elderberry and the peach tree. So, got a tarp here. We've makeshift covers there, and on the blueberries and on the plum. The temperatures are definitely dropping. It's so crazy because yesterday it was 85 degrees and today it topped out at 51 or something, or 52, somewhere around there. And tomorrow we're supposed to have a hard freeze. So I don't know, like it's one of those things where they've put a severe weather warning out. They've said we could...
I love you. Did you pause it when I said I love you?
This man of mine, I tell you,
Yeah.
I think his favourite thing to do is interrupt me. But we don't know, like we could
Did I interrupt you?
We could do all this
I
prep.
bet you the YouTubers don't think I'm interrupting. They love seeing you smile.
Crazy old man. Hey, if you're old, I'm old, so you know. We could do all this prep and it could just be like 30 degrees, or 32, you know, like it could just be a frost. I think we will definitely get a frost, but there is a potential for a hard freeze. So we'll see. Better safe than sorry, hey? Okay, so we have one tarp left and there's a little bit of potatoes down that end not covered. And there's this raised bed, which I think the onions will be fine. I hope, unless it's like really bad, but hopefully it'll be all right. And this has got salad greens, just little ones, some baby, some mustard greens, turnips, some carrots, but they're all really little. So I think I might cover this. And we've got most of the potatoes covered. I think that's what we'll do. of dodgied up a little cover here, and I just saw something I want to save. So in this bed of onions, a few things have come up, like there's some flowers. I think that's cosmos coming up there from last year. But this, I wasn't sure if it was parsley or celery. I think it's parsley that's come up from last year. I think I want to save that. I don't have any more covers, but it's just kind of sitting here in the onions. I might dig it out and put it in a pot. So I found this old pot in the here's a shovel in the mudroom. So I'll just get some dirt and see if I can save him. In the mud room, and whether we get a frost or not, he'll be okay. So I think we're about as prepped as we can be with the resources we have on hand. I'm in here in the mud room with my aloe vera. Gracie has been mulching all of these roses, which I pruned, I think it was last week. We've laid cardboard down just trying to break off the weeds. I have put a blanket over these two. This here, it's got seeds in it, but a bunch of dollarweed, which I don't really care about. Oh, I do have those. I probably should try and cover this if I can find another blanket. Well, it is chilly. It's the next morning, but I do not think it got as cold as what it could have done. So we definitely had a frost. It got down to freezing, but I don't think it went much under that, thankfully. Today's literary quote is from Charles Dickens in A Tale of Two Cities, one of my very favorites. I didn't really love Charles Dickens until I read this book. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received, for good or for evil, in the superlative degree of comparison only. So there is a light frost on these potatoes that we didn't get covered. Ran out of covers last night. Well, the bird bath is frozen. I didn't think about bringing that in, but I should have. So hopefully these, look at this, I don't know if you can see that, the steam coming out from inside there. A light frost on top of that. I think they'll be fine. But yeah, nothing too bad. So maybe we did a whole heap of work that we didn't need to do, but it didn't take us that long. And honestly, after all the hard work of putting all this in, I did not want to take a risk of losing it all. So a little bit of damage on these that were covered with this blanket, but I don't know that this did much to help actually, because these are all kind of flat. I think they'll bounce back. This is the one with no cover. That one there had this shade cloth.
Wait, can I jump onto here?
Yeah, the middle is a pathway, just don't land on the potatoes. Oh, you just missed that big ant nest. Wow, big jumping. This one had a tarp over it, so it did do a little better, and the tops of them are frosted, but I think they'll come back. So the blanket and the tarp did a better job than that shade cloth. Didn't really do anything. Hey guys, it is several days later and I've just been editing that footage, and I just wanted to show you what's happening with the potatoes. So these ones that had the blanket over them and some in the middle that had the tarp are doing really okay. I guess this got hit a lot harder. The shade cloth, as I thought, didn't really do much, but they are starting to come back. So you can see we've got new growth coming back. I was wondering if I should go ahead and sort of prune back the dead frosted bits, but I didn't get to do it. I sort of just ran out of time. But it's coming back regardless. So I think you can see underneath these frosted bits, we've got fresh new growth. And that's sort of across the board coming back on all of them. Along with the weeds, of course. These ones had protection. They just got some little frosted tips on them. These are the ones that didn't get covered at all. I ran out of covers, but even these guys are springing back to life. So I just wanted to share that with you before I sign off. There is hope for the potatoes. And you know, the quote I shared today, as you know, I like to share either something I'm reading or quotes that I have written down from my past reading that I really enjoy or have spoken to me. And as I was doing that today, it just really struck me one of the great values in reading old books, I guess also in studying history, but certainly a lot of old books that are a product of their time, like A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. And obviously he was writing about past events in a fictional context, but it just really gives you perspective. And we are living in, you know, we hear people say, oh, we're living in crazy times or scary times, or we're facing things that no one else has faced, or this is this or that, you know, all the things that they say, or the opinions or whatever. And it is true that it can be alarming. I mean, I'm not holding this very well. I'm definitely the first to admit that the world can be a scary place. It really can. And there's a lot going on that I guess we are much more exposed to at the moment because of these little phones that we hold in our hands, the internet and all those things. But I read that quote and I thought, you know, there have been so many times through history where the world has been really messed up, and normal everyday people have lived through it. And you know, we don't, I think there's a quote that of Tolkien, or maybe I'll try and find it and put it on here as well, but I think it was Gandalf speaking to Frodo, saying, you know, we don't get to choose the time in which we live and the events that happen, but we just get to choose how we choose to respond and react and live our lives through those times. And I think, I think that is one of the gifts of good literature, of old books, is it just helps gives you perspective on what is going on. That's what it does for me anyway. There's just nothing new under the sun, is there? I mean, how similar does that quote from Charles Dickens, speaking of the French Revolution and the turbulent time that was happening then? I mean, it's the same, just dressed up in different clothing, right? Same, but different. It doesn't change much. Yeah. We've seen all this before. Let me know what you think about all of that. I would like to hear your thoughts, and I will see you again soon, probably back out in the garden or in the kitchen, doing all the things as spring is upon us. Thank you for watching, people. I will see you again soon. Sunshine and raindrops. Until then.